But John Ban, what's up, man?
Yes, hi.
Hi, how you doing?
How's it going?
Good, thanks. I didn't know you sound like a woman. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So are you Muslim?
Yes, Alhamdulillah.
Okay. Do you believe Islamophobia exists?
I think so.
Can we define it? What
Why?
is Islamophobia? What is it?
Is
Can we
that
define it?
fear? Oh, no. It's more like
Sorry,
fear, right?
it's a
It's more like,
irrational fear.
yeah.
So
I
what
mean,
makes my
like,
fear?
sometimes
Yeah.
you tell me, how do you define it?
So, for example, someone like Rita, who's an ex-Muslim, according to Sharia law, she should be executed. Right? That's what Sharia law tells us. So now that she's a Christian as well, okay, there's more of a
Oh, I'm
reason for
sorry.
you
Can you
guys to
repeat
come
that?
after her. So now,
I apologize. Can you repeat that? Sorry. I
yeah, I
wasn't
said,
following.
according to
Can
Sharia
you repeat
law, an ex-Muslim must be executed, okay, if they leave Islam, because the Prophet said in a Sahih Hadith, whoever changes his religion, unalive him, right? So
I don't
here
know.
we see the ex-Muslims, unalive meaning Kill, but I don't want to say the word because we're not allowed to use it.
Okay.
So because of that, I believe that Rita's fear of Islam is not irrational at all. It's actually very rational because Islam, okay, wants to unalive Rita for leaving it. So what makes Rita as an Islamophobe? If Islam by its laws, Rita should be executed for leaving it.
That's just sometimes, it's just, that's what they say to put fear in people's heart.
What who
Wait, so
says?
But
What who says?
Allah and Muhammad were liars?
No, wait. What who says? Who says, John?
okay. Go ahead, say it. Quran says
I'm
what?
just
Quran
trying to.
says.
You said that's what okay, who am I
What's
speaking to?
happening?
I'm sorry.
Show me your source. Show me your source that says that you're supposed to be unalived if you
It's
turn away
Sunnah.
from
It's
Islam.
Sunnah.
Oh,
It's
in the
not. And
Quran?
Allah
No,
in the
it's also in
Quran
the
also
Quran.
said.
The Quran is mostly is.
Tell me the Quran.
Yeah. وإذ لقيتم الذين كفروا فضرب الرقاب. Strike at the next one. You find
Translate
those
it.
who have apostated.
Translate it.
When you find those who have apostated, إذ لقيتم الذين كفروا فضرب الرقاب. So strike at the neck. What does that mean?
Tell me what's the verse? What's the number of the verse and the number of the surah? Tell me.
Dude, I don't know. I'm a hafiz. I don't remember surah numbers and
Yeah.
ayah numbers and all of that. فإذ لقيتم الذين كفروا فضرب الرقاب. What does that mean?
You're a half, but you don't know what surah it's in.
What is that? What does that mean? فإذ لقيتم الذين كفروا فضرب الرقاب. You know it's in there. You know it's in there. When you find those who have apostated, strike at the necks. What does that mean?
فضرب الرقاب حتى إذا أثخنتموهم فشدوا الوثاق فإما منا بعد وإما فداء حتى تضع الحرب أوزارها كذلك ولو يشاء الله. That's surah, right?
So what?
Yeah.
So who are those who have apostated?
Yeah, so what does al-fath mean?
Hold on. He's gonna tell you. Okay.
No, what does
Sometimes it's
al-fath
good to
mean?
find out.
Hey, imbecile, listen to me. We only talk to one person at a
Shut the
time.
hell up. Watch your
No, you're an imbecile. You're an imbecile. I want you to understand something. When we ask you a question, you're going to have to answer that one question. Don't go off on a tangent, okay? What does al-fath mean?
Al-Fath is a surah, sister.
No. The word al-fath, my dear woman, you don't know what that word means. Your brother who is in there.
Surah is in it. He said
I'm
the
asking you,
surah-
no, it says Surah Al-Fath. What does Surah Al-Fath mean? The Fath, the word Fath, what does it mean?
We will get it for you. Hold on, okay?
Yeah, sure. Okay, go ahead. Victory how? Victory how? When they say سوف نفتح البلدان هذه يعني what do they mean when they say that?
opening.
When they say سوف نفتح البلدان, what does that mean?
Like opening, like for example, to open.
To open to what, my dear? To open to what?
What does the second word mean? What does it have to do with the Quran? Tell me.
I'm asking you a question. Answer my question. Don't answer with a question.
I know, it's an al-fath.
What does al-fath mean? What does al-fath mean? How do you open a nation according to Islam? How do you do it? By waging what? By waging, yes, taking
By
over.
waging what? Are you trying to say war? Are you
By
trying to say
taking
war? Are you trying to say
over
war?
how? By taking over how? How do you do it?
This is a time of for that time.
Woman, listen to
okay?
me. Listen to me. Stop answering questions you have no answers for. Listen to me. The way that you wage war is upon a country that wants nothing to do with Islam. Al-Fath means to claim victory upon a nation that is un-Islamic, that wants nothing to do with Islam, and you go over there and conquer that nation against its will. Do you understand? It means to massacre people. It means to unalive innocent men, women, children, and so on and so forth until you take that land against their will.
Alright. So you're saying that's what Fath... Wait, are you saying that's what Fath means?
That's Al-Fath. That's Al-Fath. And then Surah Al-Anfal. What is Al-Anfal? What is Al-Anfal?
Okay, listen.
What is Surah Al-Anfal?
We're gonna deal with Fath
What is
first.
Surah Al-Anfal, you imbecile? What is Surah Al-Anfal?
We're gonna deal with Fath
See, this is
first.
the problem. This is the
Listen,
problem.
I'll tell you.
You see, we try to talk.
Let's just.
I'm answering your question.
Let's
Calm down.
calm it down. Let's calm it down. Get back to the first point. Let's get back to the first point. Now, according to the Quran, إِذْ لَقِيتُمُ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا فَضَرْبَ الرِّقَابِ. What does that mean? Can you tell me what that means? What does كفروا mean? كفروا بماذا?
We're getting there. Hold on, one at a time.
كفروا بماذا? I want to know. And there's also Sahih Hadith in Bukhari and Muslim where Muhammad says, "Man غير دينه فاقتلوه." Whoever changes his religion, alive him, kill him. So how is that irrational? Okay, how is that irrational for ex-Muslims? I don't think I'm cutting out. I think you're cutting out, Jackie. It might be you. I'm not sure, but
Oh, okay. But this is the
I
Sahih
just want to
Hadith.
understand. How's that an irrational? Yeah. How's that an irrational fee, guys? Can someone answer the question, please? If someone decides to leave Islam,
I
okay,
think you're Googling
and
the
then
definition of the words.
There's the issue, right, in Surah Al-Ma'idah, verse 33, where it goes hand in hand, where it goes, stop talking over me, dude. Where it goes hand in hand with the hadith that you're talking about, unaliving the disbelievers, or the apostates, right? Where it says maim and crucify. Stop talking over me, dude. Wait.
But
Surah Al-Ma'idah verse 33 actually says, what is wrong with you?
We're jumping to Surah Al-Ma'idah.
What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you?
just
What
let
is wrong
her
with you?
finish
we
this
still
one second.
talking
What
Let her
is,
finish
what
and
is
then you
wrong
can
with
give us
you?
the
What is
answer.
wrong with you? Seriously, like, what is wrong with you? What is it? What is wrong with you where you hear a person talking, you just continue talking? What is wrong with you? Or do you want to practice Al-Fath right here?
No, you ask one question.
Yeah, I know, and I'm talking to Mushroom, I'm not talking to you. So when I'm making a point, don't do that. The issue is,
go
in
ahead,
Surah Al-Ma'idah, verse 33, okay? It literally says that they're to maim and crucify the infidels if they criticize Islam, okay? You've got Hurub al-Ridda, which basically meant that the apostates in Islam in Muhammad's time, after he dies, they decide to leave Islam in droves. Umar bin Khattab and all of his cronies decided to go there and unalive all the Christians and force them back and force back the ones that actually survived. So the way they conquered this place was using Al-Fath. They went to Najran, they went to Tabuk, they went to Medina, places that Muhammad didn't have to be in, and he did that against their will. He massacred them. The hell? Now talk.
Exactly.
Okay, listen, okay. So you said, alright, you said Surah, by the way, Surah Muhammad, verse 4, alright? فَإِذَا لَقِيتُمُ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا فَضَرْبَ الرِّقَابِ. That's like what you said. Alright, so for every single verse in the Quran has context. Do you agree?
Yeah, so who are the kafaru? Who are the ones that kafaru?
I know
What
the
does that
context
mean,
of it.
kafaru?
I want you to answer. In what context is he saying to strike their necks? In what context? I know the context. I want you to tell me.
The context is they actually left
إذ لقيتم
Islam.
الذين كفروا إذ لقيتم
In
الذين
battle,
كفروا من هم الذين كفروا
in
من هم
battle. The
الذين
context.
كفروا ومن هم
Listen, I'm
الذين
answering you.
كفروا? Who
فضرب
are the ones
الرقاب.
who
Strike the
did the
neck.
kufr?
Strike the neck. In
Yeah,
battle. Surah
exactly.
Muhammad.
So here, when you
Yes.
find those who have apostated,
Surah
do what to
Muhammad is
them?
about a battle. It's
Do
about a
what to
battle,
the
alright? It's about a battle.
apostates?
He's saying
Do what? Do
some.
what to the apostates? What are you supposed
So
to do to the apostates, dude?
I'll translate
I
word
think
for
we're
Islamically
word.
talking to a
speaking, what are
child,
you supposed to
Mushroom.
do?
So when you
What are
meet the
you supposed to
disbelievers
do
in
to the
battle,
apostates?
strike their necks.
No, he's not. He's an adult.
He's just repeating.
Okay,
He's just
No, strike
repeating, and he's
disbelievers.
just a
Okay,
child.
so now
In
how about?
battle. Surah
Okay, just
Okay,
get out of
in
here.
battle.
no, there's no such thing in battle. There's no such thing. It doesn't say battle. You're just adding to the words Allah, twisting the words of Allah in your own tongue, by your own tongue, and you're being condemned for that in the Quran. Allah says, woe to those who do that. And you're here blatantly lying to us with no shame, okay, telling me it's in battle. Why should I care where it
Literally,
is?
Surah.
I just want to know
Why does
when
the
does
verse say
this
when you find those who have apostated?
yeah.
Why doesn't it say when you find those who have aggressed against you instead of apostated? Why is the word apostated being used in the verse? That gives me all the context I need. When you find those who have apostated, strike at the necks. Another Sahih Hadith tells us that Muhammad said, whoever changes his religion, what to do with him? Give him flowers, feed him dolma, cook him biryani. What are you supposed to do? No, unalive him, KILL him. So,
Yeah.
what makes our fear of Islam irrational if we are ex-Muslims?
That's the
Absolutely nothing. That's why Islamophobia does not exist. Because for a phobia to exist, that means that an irrational fear must be present in order for it to be called phobia. And for us to fear of being analyzed for being ex-Muslims is not an irrational fear. On the contrary, it's very rational. Because Islam is a religion of death, is what it is. Kim, okay, let's see. I really want to explain to me how that is irrational for an ex-Muslim to fear death because of apostasy laws in Islam. Tim, I hope we can stay on the same topic.
I done nothing to be kicked. But can I go back to Jackie?
No, you can't go back to Jackie. You're gonna have to talk to me now. So, how is it irrational for an ex-Muslim to fear death because of apostasy laws in
No.
Islam?
Can I go off your claim, please? Islamophobia doesn't
Yeah.
exist.
So, I'm just asking you a question. That's exactly what the thing is. I'm asking you a question.
No, but I'm responding to your
How is
claim.
it irrational? How is it irrational for an ex-Muslim? Okay. How is
That's
it
not what your
an
claim says.
irrational fear?
That's not what your
So
claim says.
that's what is Islamophobia? Can you define it? What is
Okay.
phobia? Define the phobia for me.
No, a phobia is defined as a fear, but Islamophobia is a fear,
No.
prejudice, and
It's
hatred of Muslims.
no. Wait. That's not what a phobia is, dude.
But it,
Phobia is an irrational fear. Okay. Of what? Of Islam. Okay. So what makes our fear irrational? Okay, as ex-Muslims.
okay, but
If
socially,
your Islamic law, I'm not finished with my
socially,
question.
it's
If
defined
your
as prejudice
Islamic
and
law,
hatred.
I'm not
You
finished with
can't
my
say it's fear.
question. Dude, I'm not finished with my question. Stop to listen first before you answer, because your answer is going to be irrelevant to the question I'm asking.
Okay.
If phobia is an irrational fear, okay, and if Islamophobia is an irrational fear of Islam, by definition, okay, how is our fear irrational? Okay, how is it irrational for us ex-Muslims? I'm including myself. I'm not an ex-Muslim, but for ex-Muslims, okay, to fear death because your Islamic law puts the penalty of death upon apostates. Explain that to me, please.
Well, it's not really irrational. If you truly believe that.
So wait, what are you trying to say?
I said, if you really believe that, then no, it's not irrational.
What do you mean if I really believe what?
If you really
Doesn't
believe you're
your
going to get
sunnah-
killed for being an ex-Muslim, what?
Doesn't your sunnah tell you to whoever changes his religion, unalive him? Isn't that what Muhammad said in the Sahih Hadith or not?
Okay, but listen, if you really believe you're going to
I'm
get
asking the
killed,
question,
okay,
did Muhammad say whoever changes his religion? Or did he not say that?
Mushroom, he's also
Is that
saying the K
Islamic law,
word
yes or
again
no?
and again and again. So warn him.
I'm responding to you.
You cannot say the
don't say
KILL word.
Okay.
You're telling me, is it irrational? I answered your question.
So I'm asking you a question. Does your
I answered
Islamic
it.
law tell you to analyze the apostates? Yes or no?
I answered you. I already answered this
I'm
question.
asking you a question. I'm I'm asking you whether your Islamic law tells you to analyze apostates. Is that your Islamic law? Yes or no?
Well, I'm not an ex-Muslim to know that, so
But you're a Muslim. Yeah, you should know the Sunnah. So when Muhammad said, "Whoever changes his religion, analyze him," okay, that makes it law, Islamic law, for you to go and analyze apostates, ones who leave the religion.
okay.
Therefore,
Can we go
the
back to your
fee they
question?
have of Islam is not irrational at all. It's in fact very rational.
Can we go back to your question?
Dude, are you slow? You said you're up here to debate and you can't even
I literally
catch.
answered your question, and you're saying no. You're not answering me. What? You asked me if it's irrational.
Yeah, so is it irrational?
I said if you truly believe that you're going to get killed for being an ex-Muslim,
Okay. أنا بكرة بربك الجواد انزل حيوان. Is it كلب? Idiot. How many times do we need to tell you you can't use the word Kill? You can spell it, that's fine. So that's what I'm trying to tell him. He's saying if you believe that, okay, then it's rational, which doesn't make any sense. What do you mean if I believe that? It's in your
انزل
sunnah.
عليهم مشروم خلي
Habibi
لبك
said, how
بطل.
are you, Habibi?
God bless you, God bless you, and God bless you, Rita Habibi. That's all I wanted to
Habibi,
come up
God
and
bless
tell you,
you, brother.
Habibi.
God bless
انزل
you too,
عليهم
Sargon.
والله العظيم بدون رحمة. أيار مشروم.
خاني هو بس نريد نحكي وياهم. We're trying to يعني expose this evil cult, you know what I mean?
خلي لبك خوني. I just wanted to say I
This
love
evil
you, God
teachings.
bless you,
Habibi,
Habibi, and I'm going
thank
down
you,
and I'll
brother.
watch you, man.
Love you too,
God
Habibi.
bless you
God
too,
bless you,
Sargon.
brother.
We love you too.
book الكليني الكافي الكليني.
Oh, how wonderful.
The first, so it's a giant book, right? So it has مجلدات, the مجلد الأول والثاني. So I had that book, the physical book, and I was shocked. It says you cannot shake a hand with a Christian or a Jew because they consider dirt, and if you do, you have to go and wash your hand. And I was shocked. I was like, what?
Yeah, but the Quran says it, Dolly. القرآن اللي
Yeah,
بيقول.
but my
تعليمات
thing is,
القرآن.
yeah, but my thing is like in the Shia sources, I was shocked. I was like, because back then I used to think only the Sunnis that are kind of picky people, and they have problem with everyone, and they're the T group, right? The main people that are T groups. But then, I noticed that we all, like the Shia also has in their sources um everything basically of Bukhari, Sahih Muslim, just different names, different, the name or the source or reference are different. Um, and also, it's actually even worse. Like when you go and read about tying a child, that's even worse. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have a gift.
All right, so um, we have CJ with us in the panel. Hey, CJ.
Fine.
CJ, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm good, brother. Can you give me like 10 minutes because I'm just running off from work because I have a story to
Sure.
share with you guys
Okay.
regarding the Sharia war.
Okay.
I experienced the Sharia war in Nigeria because I'm Nigerian. And
Oh, you're
I'm gonna
Nigerian. Okay, God bless you,
yeah.
my brother. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
So
love
come
you.
back in 10, bro. I'll keep you on the panel. Just come back in 10. I'm going to bring up another guest until you come
no
back,
worries.
okay? We have Jules.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, Jules, how are you, man?
Yeah, I'm good. I have a question for you because you made some points
Just wait,
on your
wait.
live about
Wait, are you Muslim?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
You made
So,
that point
no,
about
I want to talk
Surat.
about the topic. I don't want to.
Okay.
No, I was talking about something very specific with Oracle because Oracle is a friend. And
Yeah.
I just jumped in like, oh, it's not my topic, but my topic is that whether Islamophobia does exist or doesn't, right? I believe that it doesn't exist. Okay, there's no such thing as Islamophobia. That's my belief, but that's the topic. But what did you want to ask me anyway?
Oh no, I was intrigued by the question about Surat al-Kawthar. You were talking about infertility and the concept of you know, how the messenger himself used to let other men go and procreate with his wives and stuff. Can you touch on that? Because I was interested in what the points you made on the last slide when you said Islam, the great dilemma. Do you remember?
Oh, that, yeah, I do
And then
remember.
he
Yeah, I
couldn't
mean,
find
there's
his PP or something like that, and then and the sons of the
the
prophet.
story of the cousin of Maria the Copt. Is that what you want?
Yeah,
So, I mean, like if you look up at the hadith of how he procured Maria the Copt, you know, and then how he made her live with her own cousin after pretty much like consummating whatever with her, right? The marriage with her. So we see that he made her live with her cousin, which in Islam is frowned upon. Like Muslims don't allow their daughters to live with their cousins because a cousin could marry his own cousin in Islam, right? So from the get go, there, that tells me that this is something that goes against Islamic like teachings to begin with, right? Do you agree with that?
listening. Yes, yeah. I just wanted to
Right.
understand, yeah, because you mentioned about
Yeah,
the.
right. We meet again. Yeah. Yeah. So what do you wanna ask? Sorry?
You know, you said they found out that he didn't have a PP. One of the they found him hanging on a tree.
Oh yeah, so the cousin of Maria the Copt, okay, after Maria the Copt gave birth to Ibrahim, which is the alleged son of Muhammad, right? What happened is that Aisha made a comment, okay, about how Ibrahim looks like Maria's cousin rather than looking like Muhammad, right? So Muhammad sent Ali ibn Abi Talib to find Maria's cousin, and he found him near water or something like that, or somewhere in the open, right? And when he saw Ali, he climbed up on a tree and he
He
pretty
was in a
much,
shade.
sorry, he was where? Sorry, I don't remember the exact
He
story.
was
I
in a
know
shade. He was in a shade under a tree or something.
under a tree, and
And
then when he
then
saw
Ali
Ali,
came with a sword to unalive him. Yeah.
yes. So what happened? He climbed up the tree, and then apparently he fell to his death, right? Because he was so like shook up by the presence of Ali. And then what happened after that? Ali checked his private part, and he saw that he didn't have a ding dong, right? But think about it. Why would Ali check his private part to begin with? If Muhammad did not doubt that Maria had sex with him to begin with, why would Ali check his private part? And why would Muhammad send Ali to unalive this guy to begin with? That
That
means
was the point you made. I was trying to unpack that. Yeah.
yeah. So
The story
that
about that
happened.
mushroom
Yeah. Yeah.
that
Tell
he
us, Rita.
wants to understand is basically that there is no. The story is about Muhammad's unjustness. Okay, Muhammad initially, what he does, his biggest stupid act is that he accuses Maria the Copt's cousin, the guy who came with her, of committing adultery with him. Yalla,
The thing is,
meanwhile,
Rita.
this guy had already been castrated. His PP was already removed, so he
Well,
couldn't have
that
gotten her pregnant.
no, no,
Okay,
actually, Rita,
and
Rita,
so
no, no. That is actually a cover up for the shame that he did not have a PP. I mean, who was there witnessing the whole event of him falling from the top of a tree to the fact that Ali checked his PP? So when Muhammad put him to live with Maria the Copt, Muhammad didn't know that he had no ding dong. Are you telling me that Muhammad knew that this guy could have sex with women and he made him stay with his own cousin? That is halal for him according to Sharia anyway?
Yes.
okay, so the hadith,
See, this
the
all
hadith
doesn't
is
add up.
talking about the unjustness. The hadith is talking about is exposing the unjustness of Muhammad. Muhammad was never a logical man, Mushroom. So this
I
idea that
know.
somehow he didn't know, I don't really give him much credit at all.
I
Okay,
believe that he
I don't think
wanted
he was
Maria.
interesting. I don't think that he was smart at all. So
I
when I
thought,
think of Muhammad, I think of an unjust. I think of a cruel, disgusting Barvart who went ahead and he told his followers to commit the worst of acts. Now Maria the Copt was a Christian sold into slavery against her will. The fact that she got pregnant from whoever it may be is a reality, but it couldn't have been her cousin because he was
Why?
already castrated.
Rita,
Because
he
Muhammad
wasn't.
was already sharing. Mushroom, please
Rita,
listen to me.
if he was
Because Muhammad
castrated,
was in the habit
listen
of.
to me.
Because Muhammad was in the habit of sharing his wives already.
Rita,
Yani Allah is
then
telling
why
him,
would
don't swap your
Aisha,
wives.
why would Aisha, okay, when she sees Ibrahim, she says he looks like Maria's cousin.
Yeah,
Why would
yeah.
she say that?
That's the point Mushroom
Why
made,
would she
which
say that,
Because,
Rita? The thing is, listen to me.
because.
Here's my theory, okay? Muhammad put Maria, after consummating whatever it was, the marriage with her, okay? He put her in a house with her cousin, okay? Which is frowned upon. It's not allowed in Islamic law to begin with for a woman to
Mushroom,
live alone
my
with her
dear,
cousin.
listen to me.
Just one
We
second, one
know,
second.
we know.
So you're telling me that, okay, why did Ali check his PP? If they already knew that he was abid and he was castrated, why would he check his PP after he drops from the tree?
He didn't check his PP.
He did.
He didn't check his PP.
He did.
No,
And
this is what I'm trying to explain to you. Mushroom, please listen to me. He did not check his PP. He pulled his izar. The guy was trying to climb a tree. He pulled his izar. He fell to his death.
Yes, it's all
And
made
when
up
he dies,
story.
the izar is on his hand. He's holding it. And the man, he checks him. He's about to put a sword in him. And then he says, oh no, the man didn't even have a PP. He couldn't
Rita,
have.
I know, but that's all made
is
up.
it, by the way, Aisha saying this, please listen to me. I'm trying to finish a point.
It's made up for
The issue is,
cover up of the
the
shame.
issue
Anyway.
is Aisha saying that the child looks like her cousin. She's saying that he looks like Maria al-Qibtiyya. Maria and her cousin are cousins. They look like each other. The hell? Who
Maria
else is he
what?
going to look like? Maria al-Qibtiyya and her cousin are cousins.
No, she used
So
the
they
name
look
of
like
the
each
man.
other.
She used the name of the man.
Mushroom. Aisha was a prostitute. Aisha was a
Rita,
jealous prostitute.
This is my like I've worked on this theory for so long, and I'm trying to figure out why the Quran says
And I'm
"Inna
trying.
shani'uka huwa al-abtar," and you're trying to
هو الأبتر.
refute it by what exactly?
I'm not
Why did they
refuting you.
mention
I'm saying.
in the hadith, stop, just 1 second. In the hadith, why did they mention that he had no penis? Why did they mention that? If that wasn't important to prove that Ibrahim was the son of Muhammad, okay, to cover up for the fact that Muhammad in the first place knew that this guy had a penis and intentionally put him in the house with Maria so she could get pregnant because the Quran is saying, Inna shani'uka huwa al-aftar. Are you serious?
I'm saying that in Islam, Muhammad at that time was already sharing his wives. What's the point if
That's
he
what
doesn't
I'm
share
saying. That's nikah
Maria
al-rada,
al-Qibtiyya?
Rita, when it's a type of nikah that they had before Islam that Muhammad
Yeah.
supposedly forbade after Islam came about. However, because he's a pagan and he didn't have no sons, okay, he wanted his wife to get impregnated by other men, like the father of Abdullah
Yeah.
bin Zuhair, according to the hadith of the Mustadrak on the two Sahihs, right? When he invites another man and they become three under the blanket, what the hell is another man doing in the bed with Muhammad's wife, okay, and Muhammad in the bed under the blanket? If it wasn't to impregnate his
Of
own
course.
wife by another man, and why is the Quran saying, "Oh, the one who called you barren is barren"? Why would the Quran say that?
Yalla. Of course, we get that. But Muhammad already was getting children that way from the beginning. He also has two other sons. He has Qasim ibn Muhammad. He has what's the other one? Abdullah ibn Muhammad, and he's got Ibrahim who dies as a child. So the issue I'm having here is Muhammad swapping wives was a thing. Muhammad giving away his slaves was also another. يعني we already know that nikah al-dhayf is one thing, right? Muhammad did it. So he blamed the issue of Maria's pregnancy to cover up something, but it wasn't his sexual immorality. They all were immoral.
Yeah,
He just went after him because he didn't like him.
Look, he was in on it. He was in on it. Okay. And then when he heard what Aisha said, because Aisha was a very smart woman, as you know, and she caught up on him. He's like, oh, why does your kid Ibrahim looks like the cousin of Maria? Okay. He thought, shit, I'm going to be exposed because this Aisha, this red-headed short woman, is just all over يعني, my case, okay? So what did he do to cover up the shame and to also like make it, he switched up on him. He did a 180 on Maria and her cousin. It was agreed. It was an agreement. It was 100% an agreement because the guy couldn't have kids. He was shooting blanks. Why would the Quran have a verse in it where Allah is defending Muhammad, telling him the one who said that you're shooting blanks, he's the one who shoots blanks.
That's Surah Al-Kawthar. Yeah. I remember. And Mushroom, I wanted to ask you another question before I go. Do you know the story of Safwan and Aisha, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
So they made a story about her, and it's called the Jewels of Medina, right? And it took a twist to it. So my question to you, do you think that she had an affair with Safwan, and then
I reckon,
coincidentally Muhammad made a revelation that, I declared the innocence of Aisha. She did not have an affair with Safwan. What's your take on that?
Brother, there's a hadith where a man goes to Muhammad, tells him, listen, I get lazy with my wife. Okay, sometimes I can't get it up, ya akhi. Okay, so what does Muhammad say when him and Aisha are sitting next to each other? He says, yeah, me and Aisha as well, we have the same problem sometimes. That means that Muhammad could not get it up for women, brother. And we also know that Muhammad's escapades with the LGBTQ, the Skittles community, okay? How he used to like to wear dresses to receive revelation, how he had boyfriends right, left, and center, how he went and got ridden by the nation of the Zot.
Oh no.
All of that, you got to take in consideration, okay? And you got to think about why he couldn't get it up for Ayusha, okay? And the fact that her and Safwan, okay, when they did their whatever escapade in the desert, right? It was all planned by Muhammad to begin with so she could get pregnant. That is my belief. That's my opinion because there's a lot of issues, okay, with this story, okay? There's a lot of issues with it. Why didn't he punish her? Why didn't he punish her? Even Abu Bakr, listen, even Abu Bakr, he came into Muhammad and he told him, what are we going to do with the one who betrayed you and dishonored me? She was the daughter of Abu Bakr. Why would Abu Bakr say that to Muhammad if she hadn't in fact cheated with Safwan on Muhammad? If it's not true, why would Abu Bakr go into Muhammad and tell him that, say something like that about his own daughter, man? Why would he say that? If she hadn't in fact slept with Safwan, why would he say that to Muhammad?
And the revelation took much longer. I think it was over 30 to 40 days for him to declare his innocence, right? And then
exactly the innocence
of Allah literally was investigating.
Exactly, he was investigating. He didn't know straight away.
And
surely a scandal like that, the revelation should come straight forward. But that's
and listen to this, right? They used to have this obviously like what's it called, RITA بالقافلة على الجمل. When they used to travel on the camels, right? They used to have this kind of like room, if you will, like little room on the camel. That whoever sits in there, and then they push the camel around so the superiors travel in comfort, right? In the desert. So the four who went to lift up the actual room and put it on the camel, yeah, they went and did that without saying to the person inside, that is supposedly Aisha, we're about to do that, okay? Brace yourself, we're about to lift the thing. They just went and lifted it, put it on the camel, and started leading the camel away. Why wouldn't they ask Aisha? That's why she was left behind.
It's called a sedan chair, by the way.
Yeah, and Rita, did you know Aisha disappeared after? And
for 3. Listen, she decided. Listen to me very carefully. Aisha was a young little girl. She saw Safwan, who was absolutely young and virile, and his wife was complaining to Muhammad that he wouldn't let her fast and pray, and Safwan's response was, I am a man who works very hard and I want to pleasure myself with my wife. I must have her when I want her. And of course Muhammad said, yes, you cannot refuse your husband's advances. When he wants you, you must do it. And so Aisha, hearing this, understood that this man could not get enough. And so Aisha decides that she's going to get Safwan all to herself. What does
Well,
she
she
do?
has a man that can't
She
even get it up.
devises she devises a plan, okay? And what does she do? She intentionally loses a necklace in the middle of nowhere. She slides out of the canopy on top of the camel and places stones in there so that, you know, it might be heavy enough to stay put. And then she, you know, prances away.
No,
While
so it's
Safwan is
heavier.
waiting for her. She's already waiting for Safwan. Wait a second, Mushroom. I'm telling the story.
These stones were
So,
also
so basically, just
yeah.
1 second. don't
Sorry,
ruin
there's a
for
delay.
me.
There's a
Don't
delay.
ruin it. So here's the story, right? So Safwan and Aisha made a plan. They devised a plan to get hidden away, right? And they watched the entire troop of Muhammad go away. For 3 days and 3 nights, Aisha and Safwan were together in love, bonded together in the starry nights of Makkah al-Mukarramah, enjoying their romantic escapades. I don't know how they survived, but Aisha and Safwan disappeared for 3 days, and then Aisha and Safwan decided to catch up to the troops. The troops knew what happened. They told Muhammad. Muhammad told her father, and they both decided that they were going to unalive her. Aisha had brought shame to the entire
Rita,
Ummah.
I honestly, I personally think that Muhammad set her up with Safwan, okay? And he told the carriers, listen to me. He told the carriers, just 1 second. He told the carriers, okay, of her, whatever, of her, what's it called? What's
The
it called?
sedan.
Huh?
It's called the sedan chair. Sedan chair, a canopy.
Yeah, the canopy. He told the carrier of the
Canopy.
canopy just to pick up the canopy without talking to Aisha, okay? And put it on the camel. Usually they come up to you and tell you, listen, we're about to lift you up. Make sure you brace yourself. Nothing. Bro, nothing. He just goes in and lifts up a canopy with someone inside of it without letting them know. That doesn't make any sense. And the fact that she put rocks inside the canopy before she fled with Safwan, that tells us that she wanted to trick the people into thinking that the canopy is loaded with a person because she was only small. I mean, how old was she at the time? Like 10, 11? How old was she? Okay. She didn't need that many rocks to imitate the weight of her. Okay.
Nah, by then Aisha Mushroom, by then she was 15, 16. That's where she actually, you know, went to the battle with Muhammad. Okay.
Oh, okay.
She was anywhere between 14 to 16 years old. That's when she
Okay.
starts menstruating
So-
for the first time.
Yeah. So there you go. So what she did, she put the rocks in there. So when the people who come to carry the thing, they don't doubt that she's in there. Okay. Plus Muhammad had already told them. I bet you he told them, listen, don't bother Aisha. Just carry the canopy and put it on the camel and go about your way. Okay. Plus, if she lost the necklace, why would she, by herself, the wife of the Prophet ﷺ, go and look for it herself? She had servants,
No,
right?
no,
left,
she
and right.
found it.
She could have.
She found it too.
Easily. Yeah, she found it in the pants of Safwan. So she could have easily, okay, sent servants looking for it. Why would she go in the heat of the desert by herself, okay, and look for that by herself? That doesn't make any sense. So there's lots of things that are, when we look at them, okay, we see that the whole thing was planned by Muhammad. Why? Because Muhammad was abtar. He could not have kids, okay? Even Fatima, the one that claimed that he had with Khadija, is not even his daughter.
Yeah, Mushroom.
All of the kids from Khadija, they're not his kids.
Yeah, allegedly, yeah. I was going to ask you, on one hand, Mushroom says that Muhammad pre-planned and pre-positioned
I
all
that's my
these
theory.
events, right? Yeah. And Rita says, I heard she said, oh, Muhammad ain't that smart of a man. Which one is it? Because I believe that he's very smart, even with the business trips.
Oh, Muhammad?
Yeah.
I honestly think
Muhammad was a
he's
narcissist.
Look, he's smart and he's shameless. Okay, so when he invited the fact that the Sahih Hadith that tells us that he invited another man into his bedroom, he sent out to the man, on a cold morning. For God's sake, it's not like the guy was just passing by and visiting him. I was like, "Oh, you cold? Come under the blanket with me in my get a bit warmer. It's very cold this morning." No, Muhammad, at the very early morning, he sends out to this man. sends out to him. And by the way, early morning means nighttime, like it's dark. Early morning is like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., when everybody is asleep and nobody is watching. That's what early morning means. Early morning is 12 a.m. onwards. Okay? So what can we, conclude from all of this? That Muhammad wanted his wife, okay, to be impregnated by the father of Abdullah bin Zubayr, because he was an actor, as the Quran says, because Muhammad's feelings were hurt when he was being called or being accused of shooting blanks. That's why Allah told the one who accused him of that. He said that guy is the one who shoots blanks. Yani the fact that this verse exists in the Quran is just it's evidence enough for us to be able to conclude that Muhammad was shooting blanks. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Infertility amongst these, and in Surah Al-Kakatha, I get you. But Rita, why do you think he's not smart? Because if Mushroom is saying he's pre-planned all these events, even with Aisha, even with the stories about him putting men in his wife's bedrooms and stuff, on you were saying he wasn't that smart.
Okay. So you've got Muhammad, this man who comes out of the blue, right? Forcing his ideologies on these people who he knows specifically are gullible, okay? He's not going after the Jews and the Christians who are smart. He's going where he himself he's been shunned. He's been shunned because he's stupid. He's been shunned because he's a hypocrite. He's been shunned because he is, in fact, in every way possible, the absolute of the most depraved men ever known to exist in that time. So the thing is, if he was a smart man, and I've said this before, if he was a smart man, he would have ingratiated himself to the Jews by practicing Judaism. He would have ingratiated himself to the Christians by practicing Christianity. Do you understand? He didn't do that. Instead, he decides to wage war after war after war. And it wasn't even a war, it was raids. This man effectively created a cult of raiders. That's all he did. Criminals are dumb. Muhammad was dumb. He was dumb by virtue of what he did to the women around him, even his own wives. He swapped wives. And then he created a community of depraved people whereby even the women now think nothing of having schmecks everywhere. What type of community does that create? How is that a smart thing to do? How is it smart? How is it smart financially? How is it smart academically? How is it smart in any way, religiously, spiritually? How is it smart? How is he smart? He didn't even foresee anything.
Rita.
All he did was he used their weaknesses, which were his own weaknesses. He recognized weakness for weakness. That's all he did.
Rita,
He's not smart.
in 10 minutes, I want to close. I want to hear the Nigerian brother. Okay.
Yeah.
If he could come back.
Is he
CJ,
here?
could you come back? I've got 10 minutes before I close. Probably 5 or 10. 1 second.
I don't think he's back yet.
Yeah, before he comes back, Rita, it's been established that Dhul-Qarnayn was Alexander the Great. There's been many literature studied about him.
Well, they say he is, and I'm just going to take their word for it.
And
Okay.
he was known to be the great bent guy, right? Everyone knows his
Yeah.
relationship.
Yeah, it was widely
Why
known.
would God-
If they are actually talking about Alexander the Great, then Alexander the Great, his own schmexual pursuits were all algae.
Yeah, so why would God praise a man or dedicate a whole chapter to Dhul-Qarnayn?
Because Muhammad heard the stories of these men, okay? And this is why I'm saying he's stupid.
During the
It just adds
yeah.
it just adds to it, right? So he hears of the depravity of these men, right? And he's not doing things that are any different than Dhul-Qarnayn. Dhul-Qarnayn was algae, bent, and what did he do? He went with guys. And Dhul-Qarnayn's lifestyle was what Muhammad practiced. How is he any different? He was a robber. He was algae. How is he different? I just want to know.
So do you think it was a collaborative of people or just Muhammad himself if he had to be creating revelation, or was it with help through his
Look,
journey?
all I know is that Abu Bakr went away and brought a surah, an ayah, sorry, from a surah that was never seen by the Muslim Ummah before that day. This is after Muhammad's death. We still have no answers to this day as to where Abu Bakr got this verse. He went away, Muhammad dies. Umar al-Khattab starts screaming at the people. If anybody says Muhammad is dead,
yeah.
I will kill you.
Yeah, they went crazy. Yeah,
No. He lost his mind, right? But understand, he wasn't losing him. It was an act because he was looking forward to himself being a Khalifa. So look at this. Abu Bakr quietly slides out of sight, walks away. Hours and hours and hours later, he comes back. And he's holding an ayah that says, Muhammad, if Muhammad passes away, then he's just a man. You want to explain to me how that happens? It is a collaborative, cult. And they're doing it to this day. They were doing it for 1,400 years, whereby Umar bin al-Khattab told them, if you want to beautify the Quran, add poetry into it.
And do you think that the journeys that he made while he was married to Khadija, the travels, he collaborated all these stories when he was traveling around and then compiled them?
That's a conclusion that we all polemicists make, because how else is he getting all these information? How else is he learning about Dhul Qarnayn? Unless he went somewhere near Syria, Iraq. How else is he finding out about Abraham and Isaac and Jacob, unless it's from the Jews themselves? How else is he finding out about Jesus Christ unless he's, consorting with the Christians at that time? And by the way, Muhammad did marry a Christian woman. However ungodly she is, that woman, Khadija, was a Christian. He married her in a Christian ceremony.
Can I
So
say
he's
something?
getting his information from everywhere. Of course, CJ, we've been waiting for you. We have the last 10 minutes now, and it's your you who's going to close the live. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna tell a story, and I'm gonna ask this Jews, I think, a question, because I think he's a Muslim, and I thank you guys. Thank you, Moshe, for having me. Thank you. Let me see. I can't pronounce. I can't see your name very well because I'm on transit. So what's her name? My dear sister that was just talking, and
Okay,
everyone.
I'm Rita. Yeah.
Rita and everyone. If I can't pronounce
No
it, if
problem.
I can't pronounce your name, I'm just greeting you.
That's
Thank you for
fine.
having me.
Greetings to you
So-
too, brother. Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing is, I was born in Nigeria. I'm a Nigerian, right? And I was born in the northern part of Nigeria. Nigeria is made up of basically Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa, and the Hausas are majorly Muslims, right? And so we lived in the northern part where the Hausa people are, and we were happy. We were just trying, and then all of a sudden they began war. They call it the Sharia war. My father came back from work, and with his Mercedes shattered, everywhere was burning. They were burning everywhere. They unalived my godfather. It was a Sharia war against the Christians, and they just surrounded everywhere, shouting Allahu Akbar, and all of that, and they were